Hey guys, Max the filmmaker here with Saddleback Leather, and I want to show you my bag. This is the Rounded Satchel, and it's the perfect bag for a minimalist going into the new year who kind of wants to simplify their life, live a more purposeful life. And I say that because this is a smaller bag and it actually doesn't fit as much inside of it. It almost fits nothing at all. It doesn't fit any of the technology that I'm used to carrying, like my camera, my laptop, any of that. And that's actually what I love about this bag, that it kind of, well, it forces me to live a more kind of minimal way, and it forces me to leave that stuff behind and carry stuff that's more important to me. And I want to show you guys how that works and why it works for me that way. So in this side pocket here, I've actually got two field notes. This first one I kind of use, this is sort of a journal, an idea book. I write my video ideas in here. I'll throw in kind of memories, anything that I just really don't want to forget. Yeah, so this is, that's my idea book. This other field notes I use kind of more as my language learning field notes. Currently I'm trying to study some Japanese, and so there's some Japanese words in there. And then we make it down to Mexico a lot with Saddleback, and so I like to write in, every time I hear a Spanish word that I don't know, I'll write in a word in here, and so this is just kind of how I study languages. Of course I got a pen in there, I can't write without a pen. This is actually, I mean, it's a Pilot, which I just love the brand, and then it's a .38, which is a really fine tip pen. A lot of people use like .7 or .9, which I just think is an abomination, and so I like a really fine tip pen. On this other side, I just have my AirPods. Gotta have those in there every time we travel. You know, I can listen to a podcast on the plane, or if I'm, you know, wanting to call home, I like to FaceTime. My wife and I, our daughter is just about 1.5 years old now, and so every time we're traveling, I always want to stay in touch with them, and this just makes it easy to be able to FaceTime and call home every night. And then, of course, on the back, I've got this really big pocket, and I actually like to keep this empty. I'll throw my passport in there, I'll throw in plane tickets, or if somebody just hands me something like a brochure or a business card, I like having just an empty pocket back here so I can just slip that stuff back in there. And so I keep that empty, you know, and whenever I've got to throw something in there, I have a place for it. Let me go ahead and get into the bag now. So inside of here, you know, you've got a couple different pockets, and what I keep in the very back here is just a notebook. And I use this once I've got an idea, once, you know, we're kind of like working on a project here at Saddleback, or we've got like a film, or we're actually currently working on a documentary about making the world's best boots. And I like to write down all of our plans, really write down anything that I need, or anything that I'm planning, I kind of put in this notebook. And then right in front of it here, I've got a book that I'm currently reading. And so this is Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. It's a great book, really talks about how to communicate a brand's message, how to communicate concisely. And yeah, I really like this book. And I like that this bag fits just a book instead of, you know, a bigger, like a laptop or, you know, a game system, because this just encourages me to read. You know, whenever I go somewhere, if all I have is a book, I'm going to read a book instead of sitting in, you know, on my phone or playing a game or something. It's perfect, and it's really helping me with my goal to read more in the new year. The reason I have this, well, it's actually a strap pad, and the reason I have this in here is because the very back of this bag actually it helps to turn it into a backpack. And so I throw this on the strap, and now I can turn my satchel into a backpack, which is a really cool feature of this bag. Super nice. Recently we were in Mexico, and we were like hiking up all the hills in Guanajuato. That place is like super mountainous, super hilly, and you know, you're always going up and down. And having a satchel kind of slung over your shoulder is a lot harder than just having a backpack. And so I just, you know, threw this pad onto the strap and converted the bag into a backpack, and boom, Bob's your uncle. I'm climbing the mountains with a backpack. And then in the front here, you know, I've got some hair product. Two of the guys that also work here at Saddleback, Keegan and Landon, they both, I always notice they carry hair product with them. And I was like, that's a really cool idea. You know, gotta have your hair looking good. And so I've started carrying some hair product as well. And it's got a really nice scent to it. So, you know, bag already smells like leather, smells really good, and this makes it smell even better. I'm a super organized guy. My wife would tell you I like to keep everything in its place, and I like having everything really put together really nicely. And so here in the bag, I actually keep these sunglasses, or they're sunglasses cases, but I use them as organizers. In this one, I've got, you know, some rolls of film in there, and so I like to keep film for my film camera, and this is literally the perfect size to hold 4 film canisters, and so I keep that in there. Of course, I have, you know, a Leatherman. It's just super nice to be prepared, and, you know, it's got the knife, it's got all the little tools on there, especially for filmmaking. You know, we're always walking around with cameras and stuff, and this always comes in handy whenever you need to like attach a part or change something. Got some chapstick in there. I don't always have this in here. Obviously, Texas summers, it gets pretty hot, and this is melted on me a couple times. Luckily, it's a leather bag, so it just cleans out really easy. But I have it in there right now because, you know, winter months, your lips get a little dry and it's just nice to have some chapstick. And then I've got these headphones in here. These are actually new. I just got these. A friend recommended me these. They're from a company called Grotto Labs. And man, I love the sound on these. And you know, whenever we are traveling and I'm listening to music and I don't want to use my AirPods or the battery's low, these are just fantastic headphones. I use them for editing a lot too because it really does, you know, it just makes it sound really, really good. And then I have a film camera in here. So this is a Canon AE1. This is one of the first film cameras I ever used. And the reason that I use this one, the reason I have it in my, you know, everyday bag is as a filmmaker, you know, we're always carrying around big digital cameras, and I'm always, you know, I'm doing a lot of photography as well. And this is kind of the perfect it's a slower way to do photography. You know, you can't fire off 20 photos a minute or 20 photos a second like you can on our other cameras. And so this kind of forces me to be more intentional about the photos I'm taking. And I like using this one just for fun. You know, when we're traveling or just photos with my family, I like that this makes me slow down and make me take more time with my photos. And it's just a different way to take photos. Yeah, this is a different kind of photography really, and I love doing it because it, you know, it's different from my work, and so it still allows me to be creative with what I love the most, which is taking photos, making videos, but in a completely different way. And so I really like this camera. Got a camera strap in there for it, of course, too. A really short one because I just like carrying my camera, you know, just around my neck. Anyway, guys, that's the rounded satchel, and that's why it's the perfect bag for me when I'm keeping track of my goals in the new year, or I'm wanting to minimalize my life, be more intentional, be more focused. You know, I just have a book, a notebook, some field notes, a pen, my film camera. It doesn't fit much, but the things that it fits are the things that are most important to me. And that's why it's helping me be a better me in the new year. Thanks, guys.